Hi sweeties! Today we are going to cook in the Nuwave DUET combination pressure cooker air fryer. Comes with a pressure cooker lid and an air fryer lid. It has a stainless steel pot. I'll give you all the details in this video right here where I did the unboxing. Today I'm going to cook with it for the first time. I've got the recipe from the cookbook that comes with it, and I'm going to do the Chinese barbecue pork and ginger coconut sweet potatoes recipe. Here's a look at that recipe. I did a poll here on YouTube under that video in the comments and on Instagram. And while it was kind of tied up in the YouTube comments, by far on Instagram and the Instagram poll, the Chinese barbecue spare ribs won over the other recipe I was considering, the stuffed peppers. So maybe I'll do the stuffed peppers as well. But the first thing we're going to cook are these pork chops. Let me get my ingredients together. Please subscribe to Sweet Savant. Hit that notification bell, the thumbs up, and let's get into it. So the recipe says we need 3 sweet potatoes, but it doesn't say what size the sweet potatoes are. I used about 2 pounds of sweet potatoes, cut them up into 1-inch pieces, and put that in the cooking pot. And it has a stainless steel cooking pot. And then it says pour 1 cup of coconut milk. That in there. And then we're going to use this reversible wire rack and use it on the high side. So we're going to place it in the pot like this. Place that down in there. Then we're going to use frozen pork chops. These are 4 boneless frozen pork chops. And that goes on top of the rack. And I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see our sweet potatoes and coconut milk down there on the bottom, and our frozen pork chops on that top rack. All right, I'm going to be reading the directions as I do it because this is my first day with this. So it says, program the duet for combo cooking, press combo cook. Pressure cook will be displayed, press pressure and select high. High is already on. And then press time and set for 4 minutes. Use the dial for that. Oops, 4 minutes. Press combo cook a second time. Air fry will be displayed. Set the temperature to 400 degrees. Press time and set to 10. Now the recipe is set to cook. Place on the Duet pressure cooker lid. That is this. There we go. The pressure cooker lid. Make sure the valve is closed. Press start pause to begin pressure cooking. All right. Well, there you go. Now I should mix up the sauce while that is cooking. So for that sauce, we are going to use hoisin sauce. And that's there. And I'm not measuring a thing today, but I'll put all the measurements will be here in the video. Honey. Woo. Honey, honey. A little soy sauce. Some 5-spice powder. and white pepper. We'll mix all that up. And I think this recipe would be good with frozen chicken breasts as a substitute for the boneless pork cutlet. I think that would be a good substitute. Maybe I'll give that a try and see how that goes. It's come to pressure, and now it is counting down from 4 minutes. And while I was waiting for it to come to pressure, I got my other ingredients ready. My butter, fresh ginger, and then salt and white pepper. And that's going to go into those sweet potatoes once they finish pressure cooking. All right, the pressure cooking has come to an end. And now it is time to do a quick release. So we'll push that to open. Our pressure has been released, so we'll take that pressure cook lid off. Put that on the side. Now it says to remove the rack with the pork. That could be a little tricky. Let's see. Oh. Grab it by the little feet there. I lost one. It's okay. I'll just pick that back up. Put it back there. Now it says to, I'm going to put this on this side over here. Now it says to mash the sweet potatoes with the butter, ginger, and salt. And that white pepper doesn't go. The white pepper was just for that sauce there, not for the sweet potato mash. So grate that in there. And I think it's just easier to grate it than it is to mince it. Then put a little salt. It calls for sea salt. I'm using kosher salt because that's what I have. And then mash it with something that's not going to scratch. So this is my masher. And oh, that works pretty good. I usually use this for meat when I'm doing like ground beef or something. It breaks apart the meat's pretty good, but it works very well. I put too much coconut milk in here. I misread the recipe. It's called for a half a cup of coconut milk, and I put a whole cup of coconut milk. So my bad. See, it's very loose and runny. It's not at all. Plus there was quite a bit of liquid. I should have showed you that, how much liquid was in there after I finished cooking the pork and everything. Now I'm going to put the pork chops back on top. Brush them with half of that sauce. And then we're going to cook it for 5 minutes with the air fryer lid on. Now we'll put the air fry lid on. You can see it's got that air fry grate there. Pop that on. Press start to begin to air fry. Well, after 5 minutes, open the lid, flip the pork chops, and then brush with the remaining sauce, and then cook for another 5 minutes. And then allow it to rest for 5 minutes. Okay, so we're going to let that go for 5 minutes, and then flip it. Brush with the rest of the sauce, another 5 minutes. All right, it's time to flip. So this is the stand over here. Not that easy. That's where it's supposed to go. What the hell? Gosh. Okay. You can see how brown it's got. I'm going to flip it over. And then brush the other side with sauce. Let me show you before I put the lid back on. It says lid because I took the lid off. So you can see what those sweet potatoes look like. Looks like they're actually thickening up a little bit. All right, let's get that lid back on. I'm gonna need both hands with this, so hang on. Place this lid on. There we go. And it starts back up, so we'll let it go for the remainder of those 5 minutes, and then we'll let it rest. All right, let's see what we got. There we go. Take a look at that. Nice. All right, we're going to let it rest and then dish it up. Those are our pork chops, our sweet potatoes. They came out a little runny because I added a bit too much coconut milk, but they still look pretty good. That looks very tasty. Let's dish it up and take a taste. Still very hot, so I'm going to cut a smaller piece. That's tasty. It's a tad overcooked. I think the pork chops need to be maybe about a ½ inch thick, so they would come out more juicy. Not bone dry, but it's a little on the drier side, but it's really tasty. I love the sweet potatoes. That's pretty good. Let me cut a piece and show you close up. Let's see, hang on. There, see that what I mean? Not like really dry, but could be a little bit juicier. And I think it just needed to be a bit of a larger pork chop. I think using a chicken breast, because they're so much thicker, would give you a better chance of having a juicy chicken breast. So I would definitely try this again with either a thicker pork chop or with a nice thick, inch thick chicken breast. So all in all, for the Nuwave DUET, I think it cooks fine, it works well. I just don't like the design of the air fry lid. I think it's an accident waiting to happen because you can't lift it securely from the sides or even from the top with the handle that you can really get your hands around. So yeah, I just don't like this handle design. I think it's a terrible idea. So that's my opinion. I hope you enjoyed my review, and please subscribe to Sweet Savant. Give me that thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and have a delicious day. Oh, click on my face to subscribe.